Interior design is a very, very broad subject, and it's a discipline that ranges across a whole number of interior environments, from workspace through to domestic space, cultural, heritage, scenography. It's incredibly wide-ranging, and that's one of the fundamental pleasures of this subject. The program is structured in a way where the students arrive and then they spend the first 6 weeks of the program generally exploring through workshops the three super platforms: superre-use, supermatter, superfutures. The super platform system is a way of really thinking about cutting edge thoughts, ideas, provocations around reuse, matter and futures. Superre-use is all about working with the existing, hence its reuse, and hence we look at site, we look at buildings, we look at the way that we can learn from what is out there already in order to take something which might be considered redundant or obsolete forward. Supermatter is all about the material world, and it starts with the provocation of materiality. What are the materials that the interior might utilise? What exists? What are new materials? How might you create your own? Superfutures is the way that we speculate, the way that we world build, and that can be anything from space through to people, through to bodies, through to gender. What are we going to be thinking about in the next 10, 20, 30 years, from the climate challenge through to water, through to our bodies and so on. All three super platforms overlap, and that's really important to understand. The platform is a system which joins together and separates when it needs to.
All the tutors are practicing designers and architects. So we have 1 foot in practice and 1 foot in research. And everything we do has to manifest itself in reality. So we feel that we're more of a bridge to practice. So students who come to our platform are kind of on a trajectory to going to the workplace, whether it be their own practice or someone else's. So we try to arm the students with that kind of translating, beautiful poetic ideas into built reality.
A lot is to do with the material, because each material begins to direct the project, the aesthetic, the social implications. It's driven by the curiosities of each student. Some of them are more keen in working with social questions. Some others are more into the commercial or retail aspect. And I think that the beautiful thing about materials is that it allows for all of that, because it's everywhere.
Superfutures students, rather than focusing on authoring the spaces of tomorrow, it's far more about asking what kinds of tomorrow might demand of space. We explore the world, we're taking risks, we're making our mistakes in fiction, not in reality, so that we can bring those lessons back to the present day to make better decisions today for tomorrow.
We love film and we work with film as our main medium. So with students, we're sitting down and we're thinking about storyboarding, we're thinking about prop making, we're thinking about set design, scene build, location, and these are the ways we think about what makes an interior.
I think it was the specific program description of interior design. It sort of felt like there was more freedom to push the boundaries of what that actually means. We have such a variety of different tutors that will support you in the different endeavors you go on. And I think I've gotten really lucky with my tutors to let me progress this and then always bring me back and ground me.
I wanted to communicate with many students and tutors from different backgrounds. And I thought that would be very helpful to extend my possibilities and careers. I think program is quite intense, but all of students and tutors are so ambitious and patient. So that makes me inspired to make me move and work. And everyone is enjoying their own project, and we usually share our own idea about each other's project.
The fact that the RCA has this type of different labs that we can explore, and it's based on our own interest. And the thing that I love the most about it is that each specific workshop and each specific lab has its own type of guidance, because we don't know, for example, how to cut wood or how to work in metal. Every workshop has these people who guide us through the process.
It's really about building this world and figuring out how it looks spatially. I've never sewn before. I learned how to sew. I did 3 different costumes. I did a line of furniture pieces which play in one of the sets, and I had to think about what makes sense in my future, but also from an interior design and spatial standpoint.
Because the interior places front and centre the way that people utilise and occupy space, the way that we address social challenges, diversity, justice, thinking about the communities of people and the difference of communities of people that use our space and our spaces will be somewhere where the interior has a major role to play. And I think the way that we position ourselves in relation to the world is always going to be a key part of the future of interior and how we think about that.